My GF cheated while traveling and tried to gaslight me. Hi, I'm a 27 and I'm dating this 23 years old girl who's been part of my life for the last 2 years. She met me in a really difficult moment in my life in which I was economically and while I've been juggling several different responsibilities living by myself in London as an expat. We've always agreed on communicating and being respectful toward each other but not being too attached to each other in order for us to be able to work on our projects and dreams. We also have been having a lot of trouble spending time together since she had to study in Bristol while I was studying and working in London. We made it work. She was coming to mine often and when I had some money or time I was going to Bristol too. Even through this problems there was a lot of love and care between us, which I haven't experienced in previous relationships. We shared many experiences and had a great time, but since the beginning I knew she wanted to travel around the world, same as me, so we both knew we had to work around that. The summer of the first year, she decides to go Asia telling me it's only for a month. She didn't specify what she wanted for us, but since it was only for a month I assumed it wouldn't be an issue. 1 month turned into 2 and then 3, with the excuse of learning how to teach yoga, which I supported even if I was pissed off. I decided to not hurt her and let her live her dreams. I'm the first person that want to be able to be free in my decisions, so I will not. In the meantime I refused anybody that flirted with me during that time because I wasn't interested and also didn't want to hurt her, as we both didn't like open relationship. When she came back the summer is finished and she had to go back to Bristol straight away, denying us any time during that summer to be together and starting again the stress of being in 2 different cities. This last May she bought a ticket to go to Mexico for a month and a half in June. She bought it without consulting me beforehand, which created a big fight between us. I don't mind if she travels, but as her partner I want to be informed if she takes decisions that affect us. I end up forgiving her, but this time I wanted to know exactly how we would deal, so I asked her intentions. She said that she wanted me to be happy, so if I wanted to have physical interactions with other people it was okay as long as our bond was stronger than any of that. I asked her if she wanted to see other people too while she was there. She denied and told that the travel by herself was to empower her. I trusted her, and we kept in contact daily for the first week after she left. During that time I was having a really bad time and I was arguing with my family, nothing serious, but I was in a bad mood about it. I shared it during our conversations while she was telling me that the experience in Mexico wasn't going as well as she wanted, but she was going to an island soon so it would have been better. 2 days after I received a call at 3 a.m. after finishing my shift at work. She was having a panic attack. She was stranded in the middle of nowhere with her driver that should have took her to island. He was being aggressive toward her because their bike had an issue. In that moment I was worried for her, so I just reassured her and tried to suggest things to keep her calm and safe. I asked several times who was this driver and why was angry at her. She closed the call after a bit and I go to sleep pretty worried. After a couple days I receive another call. She comes clean with me and tell me that the driver was a guy she met in a hostel few days ago. They kissed after having a few drinks, and he offered himself to drive her there. She said that she thought it was safer since he was a guy and capable of speaking Spanish, until she called me when their bike broke and he flipped on her because she was annoyed by this problem and wanted to get to that island. They ended up having to stay to sleep in a hotel, while the bike got fixed, and he was angry at her all the time and threatened to leave her alone there. I lost my mind in that moment. I called her a pathetic, manipulative liar and a cheater, and she deserved to have an horrible experience because she lied and cheated on me. She accused me of being abusive too, and I want to control her, and said to me that we both agreed to have relationship with others but still keep our bond stronger than any of that, when I clearly asked her what were her intentions and she said she wasn't interested in seeing others. I closed the contacts for a while until we could talk face to face, since I hate to be messaging important stuff like this. I've never been jealous or put any limits to her. I would never try to control another human being, but I expect honesty and communication before my partner make decisions that might affect me as well, so I can make a decision if I want to stay with that person. I'm still recovering, even I'm emotionally resilient, so I managed to get through it. Now after we talked face to face she said that she still loves me and that she want to work on herself to avoid behavior like that. She apologized multiple times and was honest about the timeline of events that brought her to do that. But I can still feel that she hasn't really changed her behavior, and I would find myself in deeper pain if get back with her. I'm so tired of people dishonesty. My trust issue are at a sky high. Even if I forgave her I'm not sure I could trust her anymore, and a relationship without trust is useless to me. Comnet. You know she can't be trusted, right? You listed numerous examples of her not being respectful of you and the relationship. There are 4 billion women in the world. Dump her and I guarantee you'll find someone else. Don't bother wasting time with her up, she didn't love you from the beginning, otherwise she wouldn't suggest opening the relationship. She doesn't value emotional connection nor the intimacy. Find someone that respects you, loves you, and is loyal to you. My dear friend, what is this nonsense with the bond? What bond? A real bond is created upon uninterested love, passion, and intimacy. Having a stranger's dick defiling all your holes has nothing to do with love and respect for you, nor will grow a bond stronger between you. In fact, if it was one, it was systematically teared down into crumbles with every thrust of the dick into her, the same as a pick hammer breaks the pavement. Avoid touching her when back, she may come garnished with whatever STDs and go for a clean break ADAP. She's using you as a safe bet. I wouldn't be surprised if she has cheated several times, especially on her first solo trip away. You found out what she's like luckily before marriage, move on and block her. She was never intending to be loyal to you. She didn't have any plans but to travel and do whatever and whoever she wanted to. You just fell for all of it. The only way to get a woman like this is to act like you don't care. She would hate that. Total indifference. She lies and manipulates the men that she has wrapped around her finger. She wants a boyfriend wherever she is, but of course she's not going to tell you that, or have the decency to admit she's wrong. She's not relationship material. Someone that thinks everyone has different definition of something common is upfront about it. Seems like she may just want someone to use and lacks empathy to break things off. Any girlfriend that wants to travel the world without you isn't your girlfriend. Young women who want to travel solo simply want to party and sleep with random strangers. I met a couple of girls who wanted to travel abroad before settling down into a relationship, and I simply told them to have a nice life. Make her your ex effective immediately and never look back. Never again invest in women like her, and in the future, you have to establish boundaries and limits. A free-for-all do whatever you want relationship isn't going to work. That's not being controlling, that's called having self-respect. I went through this 15 years ago when I was around your age. The only thing that I can say is that you'll find someone that will earn your trust. Don't let this experience jade you for life. Feeling jaded will hurt you and others that you'll be involved with. It took me a long time to accept this. Hopefully these words will accelerate the healing process. Your relationship overall is confusing. Reading your post gave of more of a friends than in a good relationship. You are separated during the school year and then she goes out of her way to avoid spending time with you during her summer break. Like, does everything in her power to exclude you and place extreme distances between you and her. Only calls when she needs a shoulder to cry on. Next story 2. Husband 29M cheated on me 26F with a coworker and lied about it for 2 years. My husband cheated on me 2 years ago. I was 6 weeks postpartum after having our third child. Things were tense between us on top of me having postpartum depression. I noticed him becoming distant and spending more time at work, taking tons of overtime almost every day of the week. I got suspicious when I noticed his paychecks never showed the overtime. One night, I decided to check his phone and noticed that he was looking up one of his female co-workers multiple times on every social media website. We'll call her Alexis. I confronted him about it, he called me crazy, and just went to work. While he was at work, after venting to my closest friend about it, she messaged Alexis to ask her about him. Alexis did not respond and instead immediately blocked me and my husband both on every social media platform. Later that night when my husband got home, I told him about it and he told me that he couldn't be with somebody that was so suspicious and crazy. He told me he needed time to think. Long story short, he packed up his things and left to go stay at a friend of ours' house. He left me alone at home with 2 children and a newborn. He stayed gone for 4 days. I rarely heard from him. When he finally came back home, I noticed that he had hickeys on his neck. I had to run to the bathroom to throw up immediately. He confessed to me that on the night that he left, he went to a party to drink away his feelings and hooked up with a stranger there. He said it was just a one-time mistake. Stupid me, I know. We decided to try to fix things. This was 2 years ago. Things in my mind still didn't add up. I was still suspicious about his old co-worker, Alexis. For some reason, my gut was nagging me and assuring me that he was lying about the whole situation. I couldn't shut it off. Now to present day. He worships the ground I walk on and treats me like a queen. He has done a complete turnaround as a husband. Even so, I still couldn't shake this gut feeling that he lied to me. I still asked him from time to time to reassure me that nothing went on between him and his old co-worker. He swore up and down, even on our children's lives, that he wasn't lying. I didn't believe him, but let it go since it had been 2 years ago. One day, I noticed that Alexis had randomly unblocked both of us on social media. It threw up red flags for me. I gathered the courage and messaged her. I begged her to be honest with me and to tell me if anything happened between them 2 years ago. She immediately told me everything with no hesitation. They had a 3-month-long affair. He would be with her after work on the days that he said he had overtime. They were intimate in his and her car at work during breaks, took her on dates, and he even told her that he loved her. She said that he told her that he was planning on leaving me. She then apologized to me for hurting me and told me that she was a fool for believing the lies that he told her. I confronted him immediately, and after 3 hours of him gaslighting me and telling me that she was just a crazy, lying, he confessed that everything she said was true. There was no party and no stranger. He was with her the whole time. Even now, I get disgusted typing this. I feel physically sick. My heart is shattered. Half of me is glad that I know the truth, but the other half of me wishes that I would have just left it alone and moved on with my life instead of messaging her. My whole life is ruined. Comment. Ugh, he's disgusting. Was he even remorseful when he told you? Did he give an explanation for why he ended it with her? The worst of this is he continued to lie and gaslight you for 2 years. He called you crazy. Planned to leave you. All while you took care of your home and children. What has changed now? How could you ever trust him again? When things get tough again, and they will, as all relationships do, will he up and start an affair again to escape? Maybe you'll stay with him because he's your husband and the father of your children. But you should have an exit plan just in case. Have money saved in a separate account that he doesn't have access to. I hope you're able to seek out individual therapy for this betrayal. Does he still have contact with her? Do they work together? You know he's unblocked now. This made me quite sad. Sorry you're going through this. I personally don't know what I would do, but I'd probably feel extremely betrayed and very angry because they both made a fool of you. He lied to you, made you think nothing happened, and that you should be ashamed of yourself. Even when you actually had the truth, he was still gaslighting you. I think you need some time away from him to gather your thoughts. I can only send you virtual hugs. Please reach out to someone, a friend or family member. I definitely need someone to lean on right now. I'm glad you know the truth, because could you be truly happy with a man that would cheat and lie blatantly to your face for the rest of your life? Who's to say this is the only time or that he won't do it again? I know it's hard and you feel so betrayed right now, but I honestly hope, for you and your children, that you kick his lying ass to the curb. He has lied, manipulated, and mentally abused you. You and your kids don't deserve that. I don't care that he's treated you like a queen since. He's still a piece of shit that has continued to lie to you even when confronted with the absolute truth. He swore and lied on you kids' lives. The disrespect is so real, and you and your kids deserve so much better. It's been 2 years, so it's assumed you're staying, so you should look in a post-nuptial agreement with an infidelity clause and marriage counseling since you have kids. As for you personally, you should start saving money and preparing for life without him, cause this shows his capacity to lie and hide things, and if he did this, what else has he done that you don't know? You need to find an attorney and file for divorce. He swore on your children's lives. That is unforgivable, period. He's a lying, cheating POS bag. He deserves nothing, and he deserves to be a weekend dad and pay child support on 3 children. He didn't treat you like a queen because he loved you. He treated you like a queen to control and manipulate you so that you wouldn't find out the truth. Send him packing. I agree with everyone that dude here is a POS. But people can and do change. No, that doesn't change the fact that he kept it from her. But in his feeble little mind, I'm sure he thought that keeping it inside and doing his absolute best for her was his best plan. I'm just saying, they have 3 kids together and many years. Everyone deserves a second chance. Not a third, but a second, yes.